Hello guys, in today's video, I'm gonna be doing something a bit different. Usually, I talk about how items work, C-drop combos, stuff like that. But today, I want to do something a little bit different, and I want to tell you some of the basics of Smash Bros. Because a lot of the people who watch my content are casuals. I'm like, maybe I can help give some insight as like a local PR player. Um, this is mainly gonna be for people who want to get into competitive or are competitive but are struggling. Like you go O2 at every event you go to, or like you're a 1 tour. And yeah, I'm just gonna be trying to help you. Today I'm gonna be talking about tempo and risk reward. I'm gonna talk about risk reward first because I think that's the most important thing to know because it also goes into tempo. So risk reward is how much risk to reward your move has. So like moving around, it's not much reward. But you won't really get hit for just like moving around. But if I do like an F tilt, I run up with like an F tilt, or go like tomahawk grab. There's more risk to that because if he's shielding and then he gets like a beat out of shield before I get that grab out, that has a bit more risk. He can nair out of shield. But something like a forward there is gonna be a bit safer. It'll catch him letting go of shield. However, if he holds onto shield, I don't really get punished for that. But if I hit, it's still only like 11%. I think Lucina is a perfect character to understand risk reward, and I think something that people don't understand about risk reward is the basics of risk reward uh lack context. So like right here, if I know Captain Falcon is gonna rush towards me, even though a smash attack is generally pretty bad, if I know 100% he's gonna hold W towards me, then the risk reward is zero risk, all reward. Because you know what your opponent's gonna do. And I think that's something that people don't understand, and something that because of the generalized advice towards players, like you're talking to your O2 or Kirby friend who's like, down B, ooh, smash attack, smash attack. Um, to those people, you have to tell them that smash attacks are bad and laggy. But as they become a better player, they don't open their eyes to when it is okay. They kind of stop using them. And keeping your eyes open to these options is, in my opinion, really important. Another thing that I think people don't realize is that you don't always have to go for a true combo. If he doesn't air dodge there, he just waits. That up tilt will hit, but because he air dodge, doesn't do anything. But I can get another that has a very little risk, and even though it's not true, it's a big reward. However, if I set his percent back to like what 11, I can do this instead. I guess that's just not true. Oh yeah, I could do that. But look, he hit the ground before me. So I don't really get much reward off of that, but there's a lot more risk. So generally that's a bad option. And also that you can just react to Captain Falcon can react to him landing first, which is another reason why it's bad, but understanding what's risky and what's not is really important. That's why, especially in the beginning of the game, where you don't have that context, you should stick to the generally safe moves. Like for me, it'd be like forward tilt, down tilt, retreating fair, retreating back air. At most, you'll do like, ooh, you're gonna approach me. I'm gonna do like a approaching fair, or not fair. Yeah, approaching fair or a forward tilt. But generally, you're not gonna be holding W. It's because you don't have context. And this is especially important for characters like Luigi and Kazuya, the characters who can kill you in one interaction. If you play risky with no info, that means you're not sure what's gonna work. If you've never fought someone before, especially versus those characters, you have to play safe. See how they try to get in. Do they run try running towards you? Do they over approach? Or are they always like, ooh, oh, oh, oh? Like they're always moving back and respecting the space. Um, And tempo is also really important. This plays into risk reward. So we talked about how you should be playing generally safe, because you don't have the context. and the generalized risk reward that you're taught does apply to you without proper context of your opponent and how they play, the defensive options, stuff like that. And that means you should play a slow tempo. Because usually a fast tempo means you're playing more risk. You're constantly in their face, and you're not 100% sure what they're going to do. However, if you play it slow and see how they approach you, that means you can actually win neutral more, and that means you can start gathering info on their disadvantage state. And in order to start gathering good info, you have to play it safe. Because if I go for like a down throw into like an up smash, calling them out for doing nothing, there's so much risk to that because it's a smash attack. It's pretty laggy. However, once I realize that they're not going to do nothing, maybe I could do like a down throw into up smash. So just like separating the game into neutral, advanced state, disadvantaged state is really important. Whenever you get hit for the first time, see how they play their advantage state. Something that a lot of players will do is they'll hop and immediately fast fall. Now what this does is this makes you go, oh, I have to air dodge, or I have to jump, because they're gonna hit me. But once you realize what they're doing, especially if you're not at like kill percent, then you can be like, okay, I don't have to respect their hops. Until they show me they're actually willing to hit me, I don't have to respect that. Now some players, especially worse players, they go like double jump up air. And this means if you air dodge past their committal option, you can put them into disadvantage state. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of players take too much risk in the beginning of the match. And I feel like this is part of the reason why like newer people they like stick to the top tiers because they don't understand these concepts. So they go like, ooh, game and watch near, game and watch near, which is still punishable, but it's a lot harder because it's just a better character. Uh, Game and Watch near is great. Or like if a Game and Watch constantly holds shield, yes, it's still punishable, but because they can just like panic up at a shield whenever they want, it's a lot harder to punish these. Like if you're trying to punish a bad Steve player, it's a lot harder because a lot of times they're behind walls. So even if you break the wall, they can still punish you for hitting the wall. And that's partially the reason why top tiers are top tiers. They're really good at setting the tempo. Like if Steve places a wall, you have to do something about it. They're immediately making you play the game, and if you don't, they're gonna win because then they have all the resources in the world, and they can kill you even faster than before. Sonic, he controls the tempo in basically every matchup. If you cannot contest with his speed, and if you cannot properly put him in the corner, you will lose, because he'll just spin all over the map, and he'll drain your shields every time he spins near you. And half the time, he'll homing attack you after you do shield. It's such a horrible rock, paper, scissors. But if I have like a projectile and he's spinning on the ground a lot, I can go pew, and now I can start conditioning him, and now I can start getting those hits. And because Sonic is kind of light, those hits matter a lot. Um, but yeah, I hope this helps. I don't have like a script or anything for this, but I think this is something that needs to be deeply talked about more in the community. And I hope you all have an amazing day.